Hello, everybody. We have Don Tilley, founder and CEO of Zonguru, and they produce a magnificent set of tools for content optimization for the latest changes in the Amazon ecosystem. So John will be answering some of the questions about his expertise that he will be sharing with us. Thank you for being here, John.
Hey, good to be here.
So starting with the first question is what changes should sellers make to their product listing content to improve visibility in the Amazon AI-driven search and product recommendations?
Yeah, there's a lot of changes that sellers now have to make to their listings, specifically because Amazon has updated their algorithm. It's now called Cosmo. It's an intelligent AI algorithm that both helps with organic search results through keyword searches, but more importantly, through discoverability through the conversational search agent called Rufus, which is a big focus of ours. How you get discovered through conversational research takes a very different type of optimization on your listing.
Right. Thank you. How did the Amazon discovery process change after the introduction of these AI tools that Amazon has? And what are the ranking factors? Which are the main ranking factors now?
Yeah, so there's been a big change with Rufus. To explain what conversational search is on Rufus, imagine if you're on ChatGPT. You would ask questions, research, get suggestions from ChatGPT, and once you find something that you like, you'd probably jump over to Shopify, Google search. You may even jump over to Amazon and search for that product and find it. What Amazon is trying to do is to compete with that conversational search experience and be a competitor and own their own backyard, which is conversational search on Amazon. So you can research products, you can find products, get suggestions from Rufus, and literally go and purchase those without even going through the typical keyword search process on Amazon. Now, how you optimize your content has a different approach. You're not stuffing your listing with keywords like you used to do on Amazon so that you get ranking for those keywords. Yes, there's a keyword piece that's important, but now it has an intelligent algorithm. So the beautiful part of that is, as an Amazon seller, you can now create content on your listings that really speaks to your unique positioning, connects with your customers, highlights the amazing benefits of your product, rather than writing a listing that is just purely stuffed with keywords because you're trying to rank for that. Now, what factors into the signals that you send to this new algorithm are specifically a very technical knowledge graph mapping that you have to ensure that you have on the back end. And the algorithm uses that knowledge graph mapping to semantically match you for all of the keywords that you should be ranking for, but then also sends the right signals to Rufus so that you appear in the conversational search. So that technical mapping is really critical. And then outside of that, the ranking factors are positive reviews, importantly, good content on your images and your EBC, certifications, LLM understanding of your category, which obviously Amazon drives as well. And then, even as far as outside publications, there are certain publications that Amazon references, to get an objective opinion of your product. And so this idea of having good content on Amazon, but even, starting to look at publications is critical for ranking factors, towards this algorithm. Outside of the normal ones like conversion, which are critical.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. And I was just thinking, since the AI commerce is becoming a huge hit, right? We see what OpenAI is trying to do and all the other competitors. I mean, I completely understand why Amazon doesn't want you to leave its premises, but get all the information in Rufus, maybe even higher quality than what you can get from OpenAI or other vendors, right? What I'm also wondering is, could you right now or in the future, if you know that, get information about competing products which are available outside of the Amazon ecosystem?
Yeah, so interestingly, what Amazon is doing, and it's actually recently been released, is Amazon, if you don't sell a product on Amazon, actually within the Rufus conversational experience, if you're searching for something that Amazon can't deliver within its platform because the products are not sold there, they are actually linking to external products to satisfy that research that you're doing. So Amazon is actually trying to create even more of a quality experience where it's hey, we will recommend products that we offer, but if you're truly looking for something that we don't offer, we link externally to those products within the Rufus experience. And clearly Amazon will get a referral fee from sending traffic to those outside sources. So they are trying to own that whole area and say, hey, intent-based searches are great, and we'll surface those and give you products that you can buy. But if you're asking research-based questions and we come up with answers that we can't satisfy within the platform, we'll send you externally as well.
Works really good with their, let's say, number one value, which would be customers come first. All right. So one more question that we have about structuring of listing is, how does geo help with the discoverability outside of the Amazon ecosystem?
Yeah, that's a good question. GEO is really about, how do you rank and get discovered in this new world of AI platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, right? And Amazon as well. And I think the important point there is, Amazon's new algorithm is ultimately structured in a similar way. It is an LLM in its essence, and how you structure your content for discoverability with this intelligent algorithm is similar to how you would structure it for ChatGPT, for Perplexity, etc. Right? So I think the future proofing of your content on Amazon, whether it starts to rank and it's available for discovery on OpenAI or Perplexity. When that happens, and if that becomes more significant, the great future proofing is that you've actually structured your listings in the right way on Amazon that is also readable by other LLMs that are out there, right? So you're kind of future proofing your ability to surface in those results by structuring your content on Amazon in the correct way.
Okay, thank you. Amazing. And one more question, please. With all the conversational search that is happening with the Rufus and the center of it, how much traction is it actually getting on the platform?
Good question. Yeah. So, Amazon just released some stats. One being that over 250 million shoppers are using conversational search on Amazon through Rufus. The other critical stats is they're projecting well over $12 billion in additional sales just from Rufus conversations alone in 2026. And the other cool stat is they mentioned that shoppers that use conversational search on Rufus, their propensity to convert is 60% higher than through the typical keyword search on Amazon. So, there's a lot of shoppers that are using it. They're projecting a lot of sales. Amazon's all in on conversational search. And importantly, those customers that use it trust the suggestions and the recommendations from Rufus a lot more. They're getting the answers they want to what will get them to convert, and then they're converting at a higher percentage. So it is extremely significant. They are all in on this. They need to protect their backyard. And, there is a whole bunch more dollars that you can get access to if you are more discoverable by Rufus rather than just the typical keyword search results on Amazon.
It's amazing how persuasive it can get. Amazing. Got one more question. So beside the technical mapping of the product, and I would love for you to explain that in a little bit more detail if you can. So how to use AI tools to create a unique positioning with your audience?
Yeah, so on the first question, the knowledge graph mapping is a critical piece. Amazon actually released a white paper on what that mapping needs to look like. And, Zonguru has some tools within our platform that will show you what your current mapping is and how to improve it for this new mapping. And, the mapping is really about, writing content in a way that talks about user benefits, locations, how the product is used, where it's being used. So they have all of these types of questions and answers that you need to answer with your content so that the algorithm has the knowledge from the answers to then say, okay, let's map your content. So it has everything from how is a product used? Where is it used? In what kind of situations? There's a really important one called co-buy, which is what is the product used with, so that it can start to connect hey, if I sell a coffee machine, it's also a relevant product to surface when someone is searching for coffee beans or coffee mugs, right? So making that connection between your product and other types of products that are used with that product are critical, right? So there's a whole technical mapping that you need to answer with your content. We obviously have a tool on our side that will show you once you write that content, are you answering all the right types of questions so that you send the right signals to the algorithm to get surfaced. So that's one critical piece. The other important piece is now that you can write content in a way that naturally answers all the right questions for the technical mapping, you now have the ability to really communicate your unique selling proposition, understand what customers really care about, talk to those customers from an emotional perspective and connect with them so you improve the human conversion of your content. Now, how do you do that? This is one of the things that is also important when you're writing content and how you can use AI, which is do the deep research, understand, what is the positioning of my product? What's unique about my product? How does it stand out from my competitors? What do my customers actually care about? And connect with them on that level, right? And so there are ways to use AI to do that deep research. We do it within Zonguru. So not only are we giving you the technical mapping, but we do the deep research to surface those insights and that unique positioning that you can then communicate in your content, and just let your listing breathe and talk about all the cool things that are amazing about your product in the perfect way, rather than just kind of ingredient listing your product and stuffing it with keywords.
Amazing. And I know that you mentioned and actually showed me that you have a few free tools that people could use on your website. Would you mind sharing that?
Yes, so there's one free tool that you can use called the Cosmo Readiness Report, which you can get to from zonguru.com. If you scroll down on the page, you can click on a link there, or if you surface it here, that's great as well. And you can literally add any ASIN on Amazon, and it will surface in about 1 minute a report, which will really identify how are you mapped for this new technical knowledge graph that I mentioned. Also, how are you answering all of the Q&A questions that Rufus is looking for? And below that, it'll give you a score, and then it will surface to you where you're strong and weak. And with the parts that you're weak on, it will actually give you suggestions of how to improve your content. So that's a free readiness report that you can get from Zonguru, and you can start there and see if you are optimized for the latest AI algorithm. If not, it'll tell you how to improve it.
Amazing. And we'll link right to the tools where this is posted. So thank you so much, John. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for sharing this information.
Thank you. That was awesome.